will be in the Tower on 18 on Oakmont this week as the U.S. Open tees off. See, now this music would not work for football, right, Joe? Would you agree?
First of all, can I start this the right way?
Sure, please go for it. Yeah.
Hello, friend.
Nice. Yes, please start that way. Yes.
A fully disturbed individual.
Here's McElroy on 12. Can you do that, please, Joe? That would be just so great.
Rory McIlroy, yes, bang, birdie.
This is what I'm talking about. This would be fantastic. But
Yeah.
How long?
Yeah, no, that's not going to happen.
Oh my gosh. How are you, Joseph?
I'm great. How are you? How are you all back there in Los Angeles?
We're doing just fine. I'm ready to turn the page a little bit on everything that we've been talking about and return to some major golf.
Let's talk to Flategate.
Can we? Have you tested the a Pro V a Titleist PSI lately? Is there?
I have not.
Okay, see,
I have not.
Maybe you should be doing that instead of preparing for a golf broadcast, Joe. Have you ever thought of that?
I haven't, and it's the stuff that separates the pretenders, me,
Yep.
from the real thing. Nance, Tirico, Hicks, and McAtee, and all those guys.
McAtee,
Lerner, all those guys.
McAtee. Can we play my favorite golf? This is Joe. This is my favorite golf exchange in the maybe ever. And I know that might sound like an exaggeration. But what was this after he withdrew from the Masters? Was this when he withdrew from the Masters? Which tournament was this?
It doesn't matter.
Tiger Woods and Bill McAtee having a conversation after Tiger Woods. Oh, Mike Del Tufo is blowing it right now, Joe. He's absolutely blowing it right now.
He's the best. He's the best guy in the business. So I say you lay off him.
Okay, now you have it. Here we go. Play it for Joe.
How are you feeling?
Just a bone kind of popped out, and the joint kind of went out of place, but I put it back in.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He's a healer.
That was last year's Masters. Wow. All right. There you go.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
But that's like a normal, natural reaction. Wouldn't you say that if you were like hanging out with Tiger, which I know you do a lot?
Oh, sure. When we go through combat together, when we go through Navy SEALs training together. Yeah, that's what we do. But
when you guys clear a room together.
You know me too well, man. You know me too well.
I know.
So
yeah.
what's
I don't think I've ever seen you at night without night vision goggles on.
Now, wait a minute, Joe. This is cutting a little too close to the bone, okay?
I know. Hey, just pop it back in.
Wow. All right. See, that's exactly the way. You're right. It was a natural reaction. I just had it.
Yeah.
I just had it right there. What's the word at
Oakmont?
What's the word at Oakmont? What's the word going on there at Oakmont? What are they saying?
Well, it's your typical U.S. Open setup. Heavy rough, deep bunkers, fast greens. Gonna keep a really high priority on hitting fairways.
That's it, dude. So the
fairways and greens. That's what it's about. Grinding out par. Par is your friend at a U.S. Open. Par is your friend.
So how quickly will we're gonna hear that it's too tough? Is that what I'm sensing? We hear this a lot.
I will tell you this.
Yes.
Walking the course on Sunday and being around some of the guys when they're just kind of hitting shots and testing out the golf course. 3 different guys in 3 different settings told me that maybe 4 or 5 guys would have broken 80 the way it was set up on Sunday. And now it was windy. And they tend to, and I'm new to this game, but they tend to get the greens as crisp as they can and, fast as they can on Sunday before the championship starts, and then kind of dial it back and work their way back toward that the following Sunday. So, yeah, it is. If the wind gets up here at Oakmont with the way this golf course is set up, it's going to be ugly.
What do the Doppler radar for me? Do you mind? What's the weather looking like?
Well, the weather's not looking that great for Thursday and Friday. A lot of rain. Hopefully not any electricity in the air. Just on the broadcast,
Okay.
where we want the electricity. And
Right.
they'll hopefully play through it. But Saturday and Sunday look great. So this place is really dry right now. And from what I hear, they could take on a lot of water and be okay. But it is as hard a golf course right now as these guys can find anywhere in the world. That I promise you.
Can you do the traffic for me, too? Because I do that usually together with the weather, Joe.
Traffic and weather on the sixes. We've got a heavy pileup of the 405. I kind of slipped into a little.
You did. What was it? Brockmeyer.
Jim
You did
Brockmeyer.
You did some.
Yeah. It was Jim Brockmeyer, my lucky pen.
We did a little
Yeah.
bit of that. Yeah, I remember being in that documentary with you and Dan, Joe. It was
I think your listeners, viewers should Google that. For
Yeah.
A nice afternoon of viewing pleasure.
it is too good. It's a sad story too. It's a sad
story about a guy who, a longtime broadcaster, salt of the earth, went back to find his lucky pen, and next thing you know, he was divorced because his wife was seeing somebody else.
Yeah, I know. And he saw it, and he just lost it in the booth. You ever lose it in the booth, Joe? You ever?
Yeah, just go off, lock the door. I promise you this. I've been at this long enough that whenever I decide it's my last day, if somebody else doesn't decide it for me, it's going to be a great day. It's going to be awesome.
A blaze of glory.
It's going to be what was that, and was that always inside him?
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So
the alien will come out and talk.
So Azinger is your guy in the booth. I'm sure you've met him before and had some time with him. What is that part of your job like? Make sure you got the chemistry right before you get into a booth. Joe?
Yeah, all I can say is wow. He is unique. I've never met anybody in the golf world, and even though I'm only second year into this, I've hung around a lot of people in the golf world in years past, and he is unlike any of them. He is so funny and so enthusiastic and just into it. He leaves me voice messages that if he ever does go into an asylum somewhere, I'm going to turn these in to his therapist.
What is he saying? What's he saying?
Just, bro. It's not about what they think. It's about how they think, bro. It's about how they think, and that's what we got to do, bro. We got to get this out. We got to talk about this. And Phil Mickelson is like my friend's old golden retriever, and he was a puppy, and now he's just stumbling around looking for one last hurrah. And I would just stuff that I listen to. I'm like, if I can get 1/20th of this on when it counts, it'll be great.
Oh, that's fantastic. I love that. Did McCarver ever leave you messages like that, Joe?
Well, I mean, Joe, hey, yeah, I'd get messages from him that were just awesome. I mean, what are they doing bunting? Are you kidding? Bunting in the 10th? What are they playing for a tie?
That would be a message he leaves you on your cell phone?
Yeah, he would just watch a game, and then he'd call my cell phone and just vent, and then he'd go to sleep. But this would be like the night before our game, or if something happened in a World Series game, then later that night, it's like, I'm just thinking about the game, and
Oh man, I'm looking forward to watching and listening to your coverage, Joe, this week. That'll be great. And
thank you.
And I'm looking forward. No, and I'm looking forward to always. I love watching you. You know that. And you also, and Spieth standing over a ball when there's water involved at any point in time this weekend.
Spieth.
I'm looking.
What?
Jordan Spieth when he's standing over a ball and there's a hazard of some sort this weekend. First time since the Masters. How quickly are you going to bust out that video?
Well, here's the problem, my friend.
There's no water, right?
There's not one drop of water on this entire golf course. So maybe that's the good news.
Well, you said there's rain coming, though.
Well, there's rain coming. I mean, there could be standing water on the green, but he's not going to be hitting it into any lakes.
Now, but that would be news if he did, then, right? If there's no water.
If he did, he'd be playing the wrong course.
Okay.
And then that'd really be embarrassing.
Well, see, this is why we have you on to tell us about the you walked the course, you've seen it. You know every blade of grass. You're ready to roll.
Every blade, yeah. And I actually interviewed Jordan yesterday.
And how was that?
It was great. Although, you know, you have to go there and talk about the Masters, and yet you don't really want to. But you feel like you have to justify your position as the guy in the captain's chair across from him. So I asked him about it, and he answered it and kind of went on and on and on about it. So
What did he say?
it's there. It's front of mind.
Well,
you know, I said, are you more surprised with how you played the first 3 holes of the back nine on Sunday, or how people have reacted to how you played on the first 3 holes of the back nine on Sunday? And he said, how I played. And I had 15 minutes of not good golf, and it cost me. And I said, what was the hard lesson? He said, I need to practice more. And, you know, it was more than that. And then we talked about hair loss, which was my favorite part of the interview. He said, he mentioned, he said, you know, the way they set up this golf course, that'll make your hairline recede. And I said, why are you looking at me when you say that? And he said, why do you think I'm wearing a hat? And then I said,
Wow.
Being as somebody who's rowing in the boat with me, don't you, every time you meet somebody who's got a full head of hair, doesn't a part of you just automatically hate that person? And he said, you know, yeah, the jealousy thing kicks in, but I pretty much like everybody, at least at first, so I'm okay with it.
Well, if he ever needs any further advice on the front, you know, I think I'm a little more qualified, Joe.
I think we should do like a hair loss karaoke, like a James Corden thing, and just drive around L.A. in like a Range Rover Epoch or Epic, or like, you know, like the economy Range Rover. And we can just check out people's hairlines.
So who else would be in there? Would be Van Pelt,
Jim Furyk, Van Pelt,
right? Now the question is LeBron. You know, everyone's talking about what he's done with that hairline.
Urlacher
does not belong in that car.
He's out.
He no longer has membership in this club, Joe. And by the way, you don't either. You've got a great head of hair. That's ridiculous. This is ridiculous.
Yeah. First of all, you'll see. You'll see. You'll see. Just I can't talk about it right now.
Okay. Another reason to tune into Fox. Thanks for calling in, Joseph.
You won't know on Fox, but you'll see someday. In November, you'll find out about
it. Okay, Joe. That's a nice tip.
Right?
That's a
I'm
great
just going to leave that as a tease.
It's a breadcrumb.
Chew on it.
It's a breadcrumb. It's a breadcrumb.
It is.
Thank you, Joe. Take care.
All right, guys. You have a great day now.
You got it.
Wow.
Didn't I tell you before the show I wanted to be a little bit looser with Joe this time around?
Yeah, that didn't really have a real direction, that interview, Rich. I'm not going to lie to you.
By the way, that is essentially, in a nutshell, all my conversations with Joe Buck. Off the air.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.